Chimaev cannot get him down.
He will, but yeah.
But let's say he does get him down.
Yep.
And he doesn't finish him, right? I think he's spent.
Demetrius Johnson has just made his final prediction on the upcoming clash between Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus du Plessis. On the other hand, Chael Sonnen shared insights from Durenner, who has worked closely with both Chimaev and du Plessis. According to Durenner, Chimaev will come out swinging with early pressure, but du Plessis' endurance might give him the edge as the rounds progress. Sonnen emphasized that conditioning could play a deciding role and that du Plessis' stamina may turn the tide if the fight drags on. While Sonnen previously favored Chimaev across all rounds, his opinion has evolved and he now acknowledges du Plessis' growing prominence in the sport.
Durenner has trained with both of them. He said there's going to be an early storm by Chimaev, but he believes Dricus can sustain the storm, and each passing minute favors Dricus. Now, what he's talking about is conditioning. If you asked me about that fight 2 years ago or a year ago, even 6 months ago, I would have quickly dismissed it and told you Chimaev. I would tell you Chimaev every single round. But I don't feel that way anymore. I feel and I'm seeing what other people are feeling and seeing. The greatness of Dricus, it is something that is now not only witnessed, but recognized.
Moreover, Jamahal Hill admitted he now leans toward du Plessis after repeatedly doubting him in the past, only for du Plessis to prove him wrong each time. Hill highlighted du Plessis' superior gas tank and physical strength as key traits that can neutralize any opponent. He also pointed out Chimaev's tendency to slow down during longer bouts and noted the unorthodox nature of du Plessis' striking, which makes him hard to predict. Still, Hill warned against underestimating Chimaev due to his elite grappling background.
I probably favor DDP in that one just for the simple fact of I've doubted this dude so many times now and he's shut me up bad every time. It may look like he's like fatiguing or he's like slowing down, but he's really not. I think he's got the better cardio. His physical strength, I believe, can pose a problem for anybody in that division. We've seen Khamzat fade over the course of rounds before. I just believe Dricus has a really, really awkward way of throwing strikes that's not easy to time, get a read on. So I believe he will land. So I probably lean more towards DDP, but you can't count a guy like Khamzat out. I believe he's one of the best natural pure grapplers. He does have the ability to throw some hands too. So it's interesting.
However, Demetrius Johnson warned that Khamzat Chimaev could be in trouble if he doesn't secure an early finish. Citing previous matchups with Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman, where Chimaev started strong but couldn't close the show, Johnson argued that a similar pattern could play out against du Plessis. He noted that while Chimaev is the more explosive and technically polished fighter, du Plessis' awkward rhythm, long frame, and relentless pressure could gradually wear him down. If Chimaev can't solve the puzzle in the early rounds, Johnson sees du Plessis taking control.
Chimaev cannot get him down.
He will, but yeah.
But let's say he does get him down.
Yep.
And he doesn't finish him, right? I think he's spent. Because you look at his fights. You look when he fought Gilbert Burns, when he fought Kamaru Usman. He had Kamaru Usman fully mounted back hooks and everything, right?
Yep.
Working for the choke, pounding him, could not finish him,
Couldn't get him.
The rest of the time, he could not find it was shadow boxer. Granted, he might be sick or whatever.
Yep.
But if he cannot figure it out within those first 2 rounds or the first round he gets him down, I think DDP is gonna do what he does best.
Yep.
He's gonna be awkward. He's gonna be do the kicks, and I think DDP is gonna beat him.
Yeah.
Like I
could
think
see it.
I think Khamzat Chimaev is more athletic, more traditional, but I think that awkwardness of the old what did he say? The lanky man style.
Yep.
I think DDP is gonna put in the bag.
Furthermore, Ilia Topuria expressed great respect for both athletes, describing Chimaev as an aggressive finisher who always seeks a stoppage rather than playing it safe. He supports Chimaev receiving a title opportunity soon. Despite his close ties with each fighter, Topuria framed the matchup as a must-watch for fans and wished for a high-level performance from both sides.
He's the man. He's a savage. He calls his shots. He finishes his opponents. When he goes inside the octagon, you know that that guy goes for the finish. He's not looking for the decision. That's why I respect Khamzat. He's a fucking beast. So he deserves to fight for the title as soon as possible. We're gonna have an amazing fight because I love Dricus du Plessis. He's a great human being. I have a great relationship with him. I have a great relationship with Khamzat also. But as a fan of mixed martial arts, It's gonna be a very excited fight. I hope the best man wins, and I wish best of the luck to both of them.
Brendan Schaub stated that Dricus du Plessis is most dangerous if the fight goes beyond the early rounds. He explained that while Khamzat Chimaev's explosive strength and physicality could pose serious problems at the start, du Plessis's conditioning and toughness become more valuable as time progresses. Schaub suggested that if du Plessis can weather the initial storm, he may gain control later through grit and endurance.
Khamzat, DDP, who you got? I got a feeling DDP wins that.
I have Khamzat.
I don't.
Yeah.
If Khamzat can get done the first round and a half, maybe, I just think that thing goes past the third and DDP takes over. I think he TKOs him.
I think Khamzat is a better striker, and I think Khamzat's a better wrestler, and I think DDP is a killer. But I think it's Khamzat's time.
Could be totally off on Khamzat. He's a minus 200. Dude, take my money.
Really? You got DDP?
Yes. Especially as a dog. I figured it'd be the favorite.
I have to say,
I figured DDP would be like a minus 150. Well, Khamzat, I look at the Gilbert Burns fight. You know, you look at the Kamaru Usman fight. You're like, okay.
Yeah, but he did out wrestle Kamaru.
Bo Nickel believes Chimaev's superior wrestling gives him an edge in the fight. As a wrestler himself, Nickel admitted his bias but maintained that grappling techniques dominate today's MMA scene. He cited fighters like Islam, Bilal, and Merab as prime examples of this trend. Nickel stressed that Chimaev's style, rooted in strong grappling, will be difficult for du Plessis to handle.
Just based on the styles, I just think the grappling style, you know, I might be biased. I'm definitely biased, but I think the grappling style is so hard to beat, and it's so hard to defend against. And I guess if you look at it from a analytical point of view, you have so many. It's really become the dominant force in the sport. You got Merab, you got Islam, you got Bilal, you got Khamzat. You even have, you can even look at Topuria. Obviously, people know he's more of a boxing style, and he does a lot more striking, but his background is wrestling. You know, he did that before anything else. And so it's really wrestlers that are dominating, grapplers that are dominating the sport right now. And so I think that I would give the edge to Khamzat.
Still, Nickel acknowledged that Chimaev remains largely untested in deep waters, whereas du Plessis has proven his ability to go the distance. If the match stretches into the championship rounds, Nickel thinks du Plessis could take control. Nevertheless, he still gives the overall advantage to Chimaev, crediting his grappling as the key determinant.
But we still have yet to see Khamzat ever fight a fourth and a fifth round. We've seen that from DDP, and so that's where he would have the advantage. You know, if it goes deep, fourth and fifth round, I think that DDP might be able to pull it out, but you know, all in all, I think the grappling style is definitely an overwhelming style to try to deal with.
Johnny Eblin expressed doubt about Chimaev's ability to go the distance against a fighter like du Plessis, pointing to moments of vulnerability in Chimaev's bouts with Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman. Eblin believes du Plessis's proven resilience in hard-fought extended battles gives him a real edge. He cautioned that if Chimaev fails to secure an early stoppage or manage his energy output, his unbeaten run could be in serious jeopardy. According to Eblin, du Plessis thrives in adversity and may be the one to exploit Chimaev's deeper flaws.
He's not though. He's a guy. He's just a human. Yeah, he's just a human. Like Gilbert made him look human. Usman made him look human. I think DDP is gonna make him look human. You know. Plus DDP is like a big physical guy. I don't think Khamzat's gonna just manhandle him. You know, and also his cardio is a little questionable. I don't think DDP's cardio is as questionable. You know, he gets tired, but like he still has a lot of output. Like watching Chimaev with Usman, you know, third round, he was looking
and even Gilbert,
tired. And Gilbert, he Gilbert like an idiot though. He Gilbert pretty dumb. Like he was like kind of letting him up, like trying to be exciting, I think.
Robert Whitaker noted that Chimaev's takedowns are executed with impressive force and technical skill, making them hard to counter. However, he also described du Plessis as extremely resilient and difficult to finish. Whitaker suggested that if du Plessis can survive Chimaev's initial storm, the momentum might swing in his favor later in the fight.
Khamzat and DDP, the next fight. Who do you think is going to walk away as the champion?
I can't see anyone really stopping Chimaev's takedowns.
Like, his takedown is so hard to stop. It's super high level. Can DDP drag it into those later rounds? Can it get through the first grappling exchanges and then start to capitalize on his just like persistence, like doggedness to go away? Honestly, if Chimaev can't get DDP out of there, DDP wins. DDP wins almost every fight. You can't get rid of him, right? Because he's like mold, dude.
Din Thomas raised a red flag about the potential consequences if Khamzat Chimaev captures the middleweight title. He pointed to Chimaev's inconsistent fight schedule as a major issue, warning that it could stall the division's progress. Thomas emphasized that champions must be active and reliable in defending their belts, but Chimaev's unpredictability casts doubt on his ability to maintain that standard. While fans are eager to see what Chimaev can achieve at the top, Thomas questioned whether he can provide the regularity and leadership expected of a UFC champion.
Khamzat wins, it's a disaster, actually, because you know you can't tell me that a part of you is just like thinking this fight actually might not happen.
Of course, I see everyone saying
it's not
that.
because
I'm
of
trying to be
Dricus.
optimistic, though. Let's say like Khamzat's been in the United States for I think like a month now. He's training with Sam Calavita, who is, you know, an extraordinary strength and conditioning coach. Worked with Pico, working with Armin, I think right now TJ Dillashaw for years. It sounds like he's doing all the things right, and he's here. So unless I think he might be doing like an open workout for media in LA like next week or something like that. I don't know if that's confirmed. So like the fight week motion is happening here, but I guess of course we've seen things go disastrous at the last minute. So something's in the back of the mind, but I don't know.
I mean, some of these guys are just habitual in terms of not making it to the dance. And there's a part of me,
this one though, right? He's got to be dead.
well, no, I'm not going to be pessimistic about it and just say he's going to show up. But my point is that if he does show up and he does win, do we trust him to be able to fight again? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing, is like, can he do it twice, 2 or 3 times? Because we need movement. Like, I hate when it's just like static, when there's no movement in these divisions. And in order for there to be movement in the divisions, the champions have to fight.
Kamaru Usman emphasized how hard it is to escape once Chimaev gets dominant back control, especially in the early rounds. He highlighted Chimaev's tight grip and submission strength. Still, Usman questioned whether Chimaev can apply that same pressure against Du Plessis, recognizing that Du Plessis could offer unique resistance not yet seen by Chimaev.
Khamzat Chimaev on your back in round 1 is not easy to get off. And then he was able to sink that in, and that goes to show how strong of a squeeze this freaking dude had.
Could he pull that same style against Dricus Du Plessis? Because I will say this.
1000%.
Dominic Cruz praised Du Plessis' ability to switch stances and land strikes, which he believes helps neutralize wrestling threats. He said Du Plessis has the raw power needed to compete with Chimaev in the early stages. Yet Cruz also recognized that this could be Du Plessis' toughest challenge to date.
Man, I actually really like Dricus right now, the way he's looking. Like I said in the Schmo interview, he doesn't really stay on the center line. His striking and the stance switch really supports him in the rest of the takedown defense. Because as long as you don't sit right in front of a guy consistently, it's hard to get a hold of the legs and shoot on you. So he's also very big and strong, so I think he can challenge the strength of Chimaev in the first 2 rounds, which a lot of people haven't been able to rival. Just the strength alone has been too much, and I think Dricus is sturdy enough and big enough. He can challenge it, but I will say I think it might be the toughest fight of his career so far.
Tim Welch stated he would have liked to see Chimaev go up against Sean Strickland, noting Strickland's ability to quickly get back on his feet after being taken down. He observed that Chimaev has recently shown more composure, especially when dealing with top-tier opponents. Welch speculated that Du Plessis might mentally unnerve Chimaev and bring out a more aggressive side, making for a thrilling clash.
I would love to see Khamzat versus Strickland too. Khamzat said in training, I submitted him multiple times. In a fight, it's a little different. And Strickland, you've seen Strickland get dumped before. He is an expert at getting up. He's really good wrestling, really good jiu-jitsu. But just like you said, can you survive the first 3 minutes with that dude? Gnarly.
That's fire.
I miss the crazy Khamzat, but now that he's getting into these top 5 elite guys, I mean, it's probably better that he's not crazy Khamzat.
Dude, I mean, that looked like Khamzat Khamzat to me.
All week being respectful of
Okay,
the press
talk about the
conferences,
lead-up,
respectful of like everything.
Yeah.
It was a lot different than he used to be.
DDP has a way of poking at opponents too, though, so he might be able to pull that crazy Khamzat back out of him.
I'd love to see DDP beat him.
Bilal Muhammad shared a confident outlook on Khamzat Chimaev's chances, provided he avoids the mistake of draining himself early with overly aggressive wrestling. He believes Chimaev's striking is underrated and could pose real problems for Du Plessis if utilized wisely. According to Muhammad, the outcome hinges on Chimaev's ability to control the tempo and not blow his gas tank in the opening round. He pushed back against the common criticisms of Chimaev's cardio, arguing that with a more measured approach, Chimaev has the skill set to dominate both on the feet and the mat.
Who do I got, DDP or Chimaev? Honestly, I mean, I think too many people are counting out Chimaev's cardio. I think where Habib said it best, if he stands up with him and strikes with him, I think he'll do well. DDP is an awkward style, but he does get hit a lot. And he breaks a lot of guys with fatigue. If Chimaev doesn't come out super hard in the first round, trying to take him down and letting out all his energy, I think he'll be fine if he keeps it standing. And then maybe the later rounds, you try to wear on him a little bit, but you don't want to go out for that kill in the first round. And DDP just plays defensively. He's strong, obviously. And then you end up burning yourself out for 4 rounds. So he needs to be smart, especially in this 5-round fight. But I got Chimaev. I think Chimaev's a lot crisper on the feet and definitely crisper on the ground.
Henry Cejudo acknowledged that while Chimaev is capable of quick finishes, he doesn't expect that outcome against Du Plessis. He believes Du Plessis' pace and constant movement will make it difficult for Chimaev to dominate. Cejudo also noted that Chimaev will need to conserve energy to be effective over 5 rounds. Once skeptical of Du Plessis, Cejudo now views him as a gritty, high-output fighter capable of testing Chimaev.
Does Khamzat beat DDP?
Man, Khamzat could beat anybody in the world in about a round. It's super impressed with what he did to Robert Whittaker. I don't see that against DDP. DDP's scrambling, man. You're going to need to really be able to pace yourself for 5 rounds. And with DDP's train just continue to keep rolling and he's still steaming and his train's still hot, it depends on how long DDP wants to take a break. You're going to have to prepare, man, for a guy like DDP. You're going to need a 3-rounder, a 5-rounder to get ready, but I don't see it. I just don't see it. I think DDP's too, I used to think he was the sloppiest thing on planet Earth, and I thought the same thing about Marab until they bring that volume and just the tenacity. It changes everything.
Joe Rogan highlighted Chimaev's relentless drive and strong wrestling as major weapons, praising his ability to control and end fights early. However, Rogan mentioned that Chimaev has yet to be pushed in the later rounds, and that facing a fighter as durable as Du Plessis could be a real proving ground for him.
Dana White confirms Khamzat Chimaev is next.
Dricus Khamzat is a pretty big fight that you guys could put on right now.
Yeah. I would give DDP the advantage over Khamzat right now.
Styles make fights, and you never seen Dricus fight. Good wrestler, and Khamzat's one of the best.
Khamzat just shoots from like 15 feet away and gets a hold of your legs. And you got to think his endurance is probably going to be better at 85 than it was at 70 because of the cut for Khamzat. It's like 85 is really where he should have been all along. But again, he gassed out against Usman. Usman went up to 85. Usman's a world champion, you know. In the 3rd round, Usman did what a world champion does. He rallied.
Luke Rockhold pointed out that desire often plays a bigger role than technique in determining fight outcomes. He described Chimaev as a risk taker who goes all in, but warned that if Chimaev fails to dominate with wrestling early, he may be in trouble. Rockhold sees the later rounds favoring Du Plessis, who he believes can take over as Chimaev's pace declines.
It's not always about the most technical guy, you know, it's the guy who wants it more. And
how do you think he fares against Khamzat?
I think Khamzat is a go for broke kind of guy. Khamzat, if he can't out wrestle you, he can't control you in that fierce state of direction of what he does, you know, I think he'll break. Khamzat will get him if he'll get him, but if he can't get him, it's going to be a hard 3rd, 4th, and 5th round. Right. I think that's going to be all Dricus.
So if it goes into the championship rounds, you like the champ?
Yeah, 100%.
Azamat Bakoev noted that many fans are underestimating Du Plessis despite his championship status. While he acknowledged Chimaev's impressive track record and power, Bakoev expects a competitive fight. He gave Chimaev a narrow edge in terms of winning probability, estimating a 55-45 split in favor of Chimaev.
Everybody underestimates the champion
Dricus du Plessis, but I think it's going to be not easy fight for Khamzat Chimaev. But Khamzat Chimaev also strong. He like destroyed a lot of like fighters, and but I still like think it's going to be close fight, and who knows who's gonna win? Maybe 55%. So it's like Chimaev. Like that.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about the matchup? We would love to hear your thoughts on this, so share your thoughts in the comment section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also check out our other videos on the screen right now.